Hey y'all, Nick here. Now that Shappella is live, we do have the capability to withdraw or exit our validators so that we can actually take the funds out of our validators and if we wanted to, exit as a validator. So in this video, what I want to do is I want to show you how to actually do that using the Rocketpool smart node. So here we are on our test server here, and just to quickly recap, I do have a couple of aliases set up on my shell here to be able to connect to two different chains. So my RP2 command is going to my Rocketpool 2 configuration, which is the Gorelli testnet. So if I say RP2 node status, you'll see that this is our testnet. We're on Prater and Gorelli, and we do have two staking mini pools. Awesome. So in the last video, we went over how to actually convert from a 16 ETH to an 8 ETH bonded mini pool. And in this video, we're going to show you how to actually exit one of these mini pools. So this looks like it's super simple. I'm following along with Rocketpool's documentation here on how to shut down a mini pool. And if we go ahead and we look at mini pool status, you can see our mini pools are right here. We have one 16 ETH and we have two 16 ETHs because now the video I did before was on a different test net. So we have two 16 ETH mini pools, and we're going to go ahead and exit one of these. So to do that, all we have to do is say RP Rocketpool mini pool, or we can use just M as a shortcut, and exit and hit enter. This is going to ask us which mini pool we want to exit, and you can see that there are two here that have been staking since the beginning of 2023. And I'm going to go ahead and just exit number 2. Now it's going to tell us, let me expand this out a little bit so we can read this a little better. You are about to exit your mini pool. This will tell each one's validator to stop all activities on the beacon chain. Okay, that's exactly what we want to do. Are you sure you want to exit one mini pool? This action cannot be undone. We're going to type I agree, hit enter. And then boom, it looks like it submitted a request here. Now this does actually submit a transaction to Prater, which does not require any gas to do that, which is super interesting. So this is going to take a little bit of time. We could follow along on the Beacon Chain Explorer. So if we go to, this is the mini pool that we just exited. So if say RP2 mini pool status, let's see if we have anything on here. They both still say active. I'm going to go ahead and grab the public key of this, and then let's go over to Beacon Chain, and I'm going to plug this in here. I think this is the one. Okay, so you can see that we did have this down for a while, and we just brought this back up on a new test server, so that's why we see a lot of red here. But we should see this convert to exiting in a few minutes. So this may take a little bit of time, and once it goes to an exiting status, it'll eventually exit. Once it does exit, the funds will be transferred to the mini pool's contract address, which will then enable us to be able to withdraw that to our withdraw address. So I'm going to come back to this video in a couple of minutes once this is all complete, and we'll see how long this actually takes. All right. Okay, so just a few moments later, we have this exiting status on the Beacon Chain Explorer. So we can see that our validator is now exiting. Now this could take a variable amount of time depending on how many folks are exiting at a given time, or how many validators are exiting at a given time. There is a limit that is in programmed into the protocol for us that we need to abide by here. We can see that, I believe, if we go here on Beacon Chain and we go to Overview, and I think if we drop this down, this will show us, it looks like we may be the only one exiting right now. If I'm reading that correctly, so we're saying there's one exiting, there's none being slashed, yeah. Okay, so it may not actually take that long for this to fully exit. But I will come back to this when that is the case. Looks like it's going smooth so far. Okay, so a little bit of time has passed, only a couple hours, and now the validator is in an exited state. So now it's in an exited state, and now we have to wait a bit of time to make our funds available. So we have a couple of epochs to go until our validator is withdrawable. At that time, all the funds will be distributed to the mini pool contract address, and then we'll be able to actually distribute those funds to our withdraw address. So you can see here that we'll be able to withdraw after epoch 169284, and if we click this, that's in about 10 hours from now. So I'm going to come back to this in 10 hours, and let's see what we can do. Awesome. Okay, now at this point, if it's gone a couple hours, we should be fully exited. So we see this is fully exited, and our funds will be withdrawable at this epoch, which has passed us. So now at this point, all of our funds should be distributed to the mini pool address. So we can verify this by going over to our node, and I'm going to say mini pool status, and we're going to look at the mini pool that we've exited. The validator active is no. We can go ahead and grab this address, and what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Etherscan on the testnet, and we're going to paste this in here, and we should see that we have a balance of around 32 ETH. Now this validator we had offline for a little bit, so it's slightly less than 32 ETH, but you can see that it did distribute it. And on Etherscan now, we do have a withdraw tab, so you can see the withdrawals that happened from the consensus layer to the execution layer. Awesome. So now at this point, we can actually distribute these funds out to our withdraw address. Now to do this, all we have to do is pass the Rocketpool minipool close command, and we should be able to now distribute them. So we're going to say minipool close. And now it's gonna show you the available mini pools we have to close. And you can see here that we do have the 31 ETH available. 15.9 is ours, plus a refund of 0. So of course 100% of that is not ours, because it is a mini pool, and it was a 16 ETH mini pool. So we're going to get a little less back here. We're going to go ahead and say 2. And this is going to distribute the balance, closing it, and it will result in a loss of ETH. Okay, yeah, we expected that. That's okay. Now it's only experiencing a loss of ETH right now because we did have these validators offline for a while. We turned them off, then we imported them. We were testing a bunch of things. So we can go ahead and say yes to this. And this is going to go ahead and throw up a transaction. I'll just go a little high on the gas here. And are you sure you want to close? Yes, we are. And now we should be able to follow this transaction right on Gorelli. And there we go. So that's a successful transaction. Now that should have went to our withdraw address. So let's see. Distribute balance 24 seconds ago. Let's take a look at that transaction. Okay. Get the log, see the events that happened. Now if we go here and we say node status, let's get our withdraw address. And let's go over to that address here. And we do have the 15.9 ETH got transferred in 49 seconds ago. So there we go. We just successfully exited a validator and closed a mini pool. Beautiful. Thanks, guys.